Hi, it's Cormac here from Link Personnel Services, and I'm very happy to be joined today by Brian Moore from ShootSchool.ie. We're talking about a hot topic, which is video interviewing, and something we've all had to get very used to in a short space of time recently. However, unfortunately, not everybody is mastering that art. So I've enlisted Brian's help to give us some tips as to how you can present yourself in the right way and make the experience as pleasant and productive as possible. Brian is a cameraman with a number of decades experience. Brian, take it away. Let me tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, decades, two being the number, so not a massive number of decades. Yeah, so that's my background is as a television cameraman, a lot of documentary work, also a lot of corporate video work. So I'm here today with Shoot School, and what we do at Shoot School is video training for companies where we try to apply some of that experience to improve the quality of the video that they're producing in-house. This is for, you know, the Facebook videos, the Instagram videos, the videos people are doing with the phone in their pocket, you know, just trying to give them the tools to make that a little bit better.
Okay. Now, I could tell you some stories that'll make the hair on the back of your neck stand up in terms of how badly people are coming across when I'm Zooming them, when I'm in WhatsApp video. It doesn't really matter. They're making a number of mistakes. What would you say are the main areas that we can talk about today that people can just fix to get things right?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, you have to get the basics right. And if you get the basics right, then it's going to look good and it's going to sound good. So the four basics that we're going to address today: lighting, sound, camera angles, and background.
Okay, well, let's break those down then pretty simply. You mentioned lighting first. A lot of the time when I'm doing interviews, it looks a tiny bit like a Crime Watch reconstruction in terms of how people are looking on the screen. What's the easiest way to make sure that people can, I mean, this is a very basic sense, they can see you, they can see the reactions that you're giving, and they know, they're getting a clear picture.
Yeah, look, absolutely. The common mistake is people sit with their back to their light source. So maybe sit with their back to the window because they think they've got a nice view out the window. But the result being you can't see the person's face. So you need to just be aware of your surroundings. Identify what the light sources are. So if you have a window in your room and there's natural light coming in, then that's going to become what we call your key light. So that's going to light your face. Now, if you don't have a window, then it can be, the overhead light in the room. It won't be as flattering for you. But again, the priority is getting that light onto your face so the person you're talking to can see you. It's about making speaking to you online a more pleasant experience.
Okay.
It's going to give
I can't promise that, but at least they can see me as they're having an unpleasant experience.
Yeah, and don't say you're not enjoying this, Cormac.
Okay, next up was noise, I think, or sound and noise.
Sound and noise, yeah.
Again, something that we're finding problems with, if that's people leaving the phone on, leaving the emails in, or it's extraneous outside noise. A lot of people are sharing living spaces or working spaces at the moment. In fact, they've become one and the same. So what's the best way for people to approach how the output is reaching people's ears as well as their eyes?
Yeah. Look, this is a very common problem at the moment. So you need to be very aware, again, of your surroundings. Pick a part of the house or a part of the office or wherever you might be. Pick the quieter part of the location, of the space, What I would recommend is, so these headphones that I'm wearing, they're a set of iPhone headphones. It came came with my iPhone. They've got a microphone built in, right? So what these are doing, they're doing two things, right? I'm hearing you in the headphones in my ear, so I'm hearing you more clearly. Your sound isn't coming out of the speaker on my computer and it isn't being picked up by my microphone. So that's more pleasant for you. You're not hearing any of that horrible echo. This microphone is a lot closer to my mouth. So I suppose the simple way of describing it is the microphone has less work to do to hear me speaking. So it's about presenting myself as clearly as possible, making it easier for you to hear me. I don't want you to have to work at hearing me. Okay. I can hear you more clearly because I've got the headphones on, and hopefully you can hear me a little bit more clearly because I'm using the microphone a little bit closer to my mouth.
Okay, so full disclosure, I am speaking to you through my laptop microphone. So I might because I have a pair of headphones here. So let me plug it in.
You won't want to go back, Cormac, I promise.
Okay, and I presume, like you're saying, the mic has less work to do. It's filtering out some of that extraneous noise.
Yeah, kind of layman's terms, it kind of gets rid of some of that background noise, which can be distracting. You're trying to put your best foot forward, and I think you're trying to cut down on distractions and stuff behind you. A very important thing with sound: always do a test beforehand. Do a little recording, do a test, make sure that your voice is coming across and that you can hear people coming back. Test it before you go into your meeting or your job interview.
So we've covered two really big areas there. Obviously, what people are seeing to a large extent in terms of the lighting, and what people are hearing. But there's more to the seeing bit.
People use laptops more than they use. So, when you use a desktop, the camera, the webcam was always a little bit higher, Now laptops, they're down a little bit lower on the table. Camera's always pointing up. And anybody who's been watching the news recently will see, with the amount of kind of remote filming, will have seen their fair share of shots up people's noses. And that's because we've kind of habituated to this thing of, the laptop looking up, people hovering over the laptop. What I've done with mine is it's a few placemats underneath. You've got some books, a shoebox. What we're trying to do is just raise the position of the camera to make a more comfortable eye line.
Well, I agree. And for me, this has really been helpful because I found in video interviews that because that physical cue is no longer there when someone wants to interject or stop you talking, if you're seeing somebody from neck up, it's meant a lot of candidates have, shall we say, meandered in terms of what they're saying. So this level has really helped in terms of being able to know when you want to speak and to know when to stop speaking, and it's a much more natural sort of environment. So
exactly.
Really, I found it very, very helpful.
Yeah, exactly. It's more natural. That's the key thing. And the last thing of those four that I had mentioned was backgrounds. If you're at home, which a lot of people are now being forced to do these either job interviews or business meetings at home, pick the spots that you think might work best. Something neutral generally is probably better. Something simple. I've gone for a nice vase and prints combo, a little bit of a plant. I'm masking the intercom. But look, if it's a plain wall, that's absolutely fine. The focus of this video is the person that's talking. So the focus is me. I don't want my background to distract from me, so I'm making sure I can be heard clearly. I'm making sure I can be seen clearly, and I'm making sure I'm not adding any unwanted distractions into the shot.
Okay, so unless you have people on your staff, keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Brian, that's been a huge help, I have to say. I think at the moment, both our candidates and our clients are only able to present themselves in one way, and that's via video. And I think you said it to make it a more pleasant experience. I absolutely agree. I also think it's going to be a much more productive exercise if they're able to master those kind of techniques. So look, once again, really appreciate you joining us. That's Brian Moore from shootSchool.ie. We might have you back on, Brian.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Cormac, and hopefully those little hints will be useful to you and your candidates.
Okay, keep safe.
Thank you.